Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Natasha James. She just played us a great set of music, and now we're going to get to know a little bit more about her.
Okay, let me see. There's an exit sign on the freeway somewhere now.
Let's start from the beginning. Where were you born and raised?
Those are two separate questions.
I
was born in San Francisco, and I was raised Southern California, Northern California, Mexico, Italy, Switzerland, and England.
And was anybody in the service?
No.
No.
Just of themselves.
Oh, okay. Were you an only child, or do you have siblings?
I'm an only child from my mother, but I have a half-sister from my father and his second wife, and I have two half-brothers from my father and his third wife, and I have two step-brothers from my mother's second husband and his first wife. Okay,
spread the love.
well, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm close to my sister. We did the Camino, the pilgrimage. We did the Camino to Santiago last year.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So what was it and when was it that you started playing guitar and then figured out that, hey, I can write my own stuff and I can do this?
Well, I started out with piano when I was about 5, and we didn't have a piano, so I'd practice in the air and I'd go back and I'd have it down. But when I was 7, I decided I needed to play guitar. Mm-hmm. So, the typical story, I got an old funky guitar and I started playing. And the first song I learned how to play was Mule Skinner Blues. And I always liked old, like Delta blues. That was like what I liked then, know. And then pickin', anything with pickin' in it. So
are you self-taught?
Yes.
Wow. And how old were you when you started the guitar again?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I should be a maestro, but
And so what were you listening to that made you want to play guitar?
Oh, albums of my mom's to begin. Well, first I was always singing. And my mother had this album by Miriam Makeba, and who's this African singer with a big voice. She had albums by Odetta and Billie Holiday and Joan Baez and all that. So I was an only kid, and we lived far out, 45 minutes from school, and there weren't any other kids there. So I'd walk myself down to there was a general store with a post office and all this, and I could get my big splurge of the week was she'd hand me $5 and I could go get pork chops and applesauce and mashed potatoes. And I'd walk down the road. And Miriam Makeba said no white person could go, and I thought, well, I'm gonna. So as this little kid, I'm going down the road making this funny sound, just determined to prove that singer wrong, by golly.
Right.
And there was this was in Malibu, which was not what it is today. It was an area for out-of-work actors and people. We lived in wooden houses with no heat, Oh,
wow.
Maybe a wood stove, that's it, sketchy plumbing, uninsulated shacks on the beach. And not too many kids were there, but there was a lot of adults there. And, film industry people are their own thing.
Yeah.
So there was a radio station called KRLA, which back then they didn't have FM yet,
Yeah.
And I had a transistor radio, and I discovered that around about midnight they started to play good music.
Oh.
So I'd stay up so I could listen to the good music.
Yeah.
Translation, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my mother would drive me to school, and it was 45 minutes of classical music. And she said, the driver gets to pick the music.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. So when I was 7, I told my granddad, who was over, I could drive. So he lets me drive her Carnegie. Of course, I had no idea how to drive.
Oh, wow.
But I was determined to drive so I could pick the music, you see.
Well, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And when was it that you started writing your music, writing your songs?
Well, I wrote a hit song for somebody else when I was 18. But for me, I started writing when I was about 15, I guess, in earnest, songs that I would consider worthwhile. There's one that is on a record that we do called Ragtime Breakdown, which is a Delta blues style of picking, and it's a ragtime scale. And that I wrote the music when I was 18 and the words, but we play it now. It's held up. It seems to be not aging.
Yeah. So when you're writing, do you do the lyrics drive your songs, or does the music, or do you get it both together?
I prefer it when it comes out fully baked, know. Well,
oh, yeah.
I really don't like it if I have to struggle over a song. Room 203, I came out of a dream, and I had the first part of it. And then I wrote it, and the rest of it was coming to me outside of an Office Depot in Santa Rosa, California. I kept running back to the car to write things down and get to the door. Oh, yeah, here's another verse. There have been some songs that I had to tweak a little bit more, to refine them, but usually they come out all at once. I'll start to play, and then the words will come, and like I did here, it just popped into my head. And,
yeah,
I prefer that. I don't like to struggle with a song.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're blessed, because all of us would love it if it happened that way. Seems to happen to you quite often.
Oh, yeah. If I had to struggle, I wouldn't be writing. I'd find something else to do.
And you mentioned that now you're living in Tahoe and in Baja.
Yeah.
So how's that all work?
Well. Yeah. I've always loved Mexico. I lived there as a kid for a little bit when I was about 7, but way down in Mexico City.
Yeah.
But I speak Spanish, so that makes it easier.
Oh, okay.
I think if I didn't, that would be harder. But
Probably.
There's so many Americans there anyway, and where I am, it's a beautiful part, and I like spring and fall there, and Fez and I are both skiers, and hikers and all that. Oh, the first time he and his girlfriend took me hiking, I wasn't a real big hiker yet. I wasn't a hiker yet at all, in fact.
Yeah.
And he says, we're just going on a little hike. It was a 3.5-hour hike, which at that time was a lot. Now to me that's normal, but back then I was like,
yeah.
Well, I made it. I did it okay. But,
yeah.
But I made a conscious effort to, as we get older, our habits change, and we change with them if we want to be healthy. And I was so good at being unhealthy, and then I became really good at getting healthy, because you want to live long, you want to live well, you want to be independent. That means physical movement, taking care of yourself and all that. So it was a conscious decision to move to Tahoe, where people are really responsible with their exercising, and it's a physical environment. And so it was a good decision. I love the mountains.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you get the best of both worlds, really.
Yeah, and I have great roommates in Tahoe, so they're there and when I'm not there, so that's good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So you've been playing a long time. You've got a lot of songs. You've got awards.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of those. You were nominated for 2 Grammys. That's pretty major.
Well, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice, but, we're only as good as... Awards are interesting to me. They're really the industry serving themselves, the way I look at it. I don't think we can take those things seriously. They're nice as an accolade. Mm-hmm. They don't mean much if you're not creating good art. You know what I mean? You can't just play stuff you wrote 20 years ago and go, oh, I'm an artist, because you're not. We got to keep evolving. Mm-hmm. It's like a marriage in a way. You make a commitment to evolve with it and with your art, and you don't... there are probably people that allow themselves to get stuck, but I'd like the freedom of, say, well, maybe I just want to do an entire Red Dirt album.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm in the mood to do. I like that freedom.
Yeah.
Being able to constantly create.
Yeah. Well, people have taken notice, because Los Angeles Music Awards gave you the Country Songwriter of the Year, Country Album of the Year. Doggone.
I was very happy about the songwriter one.
Oh, yeah. I bet you were.
The album, that's very nice, but, to me, the songwriting comes first.
Yeah, and not only are you a songwriter and a singer and a musician, but you also do some acting, right?
I did. I'm a writer. I write screenplays, short stories, and that.
Okay.
And one of mine is in production in June in Baja, so...
Wonderful.
And they want me to act in it. I was just doing the voice for the producer and his wife, and she goes, that's exactly the voice I was thinking of for the character. I said, well, I did study acting. She goes, you did? I said, well, yeah, I was at Lee Strasberg, and I was at 78th Street Actors Studio in New York, so yeah, I did. But I just didn't want to be an actress, So.
Right.
But, yeah,
that
acting
wasn't
in my
your
own
passion.
play, that's different,
Yeah. Well, and you wrote it so you know exactly how to deliver it.
Well... hopefully the director and I are in agreement. I have to defer to the director.
Well,
you don't get to you don't get like 100% say so.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm sure, but
yeah,
you can kind of twist a little.
I hope so.
So you're on your Texas tour right now.
I am.
And I think we were your first stop, right?
You are.
Yes. So tell us what else you're doing while you're in Texas.
Well, a primary thing is I just had an interview. There was a Legacy Artist Series at Green Chili Chisme, and I was talking with him, David Pedrazine. He's fantastic. I've got to cook you guys up. and he's hooking me up with Joe Trevino at the Blue Cat Studios down in San Antonio because he feels we'll be a good mix. So that's one of the things. Fez and I are going to go down there.
Nice.
And then it just so happened that I'd had one other gig here, and it got canceled. But then a gal I know who spun me on one of her radio shows, and she's a singer-songwriter with records out and all this, she's playing a couple festivals in Texas. And I had just written her saying, hey, I'm here in Texas. You want to get together? She goes, well, I'm playing here. But she says, Saturday, I'm at Green Grove. Why don't you come down? It's all women songwriters. I can get you up for a song. I'm like, yes, you can. So we're
cool.
going over there to play. And hopefully we can do some hiking and go do some swimming holes unless tornadoes are happening.
Yeah, well, no, they come and go, but this is the time of the year, so hopefully you won't run into that.
They could come and go farther from me. That would be
exactly.
That would be mighty fun, yeah. I know one time I was driving back. I'd never been through tornadoes. In California you get fires and earthquakes. You don't really get tornadoes. You do now, but you didn't used to. And I'm driving from Nashville back to Birmingham, and there's a tornado going with me, like the whole way down. That's what I was saying. And I'm seeing all these white crosses on the road, and I'm just looking at that tornado and looking at the white crosses and going, I got 2 kids back in Birmingham. I really would like to get back there.
Yes,
Yeah.
no doubt. Oh, gosh. Well, I know, and I'm probably going to go to a place you're not going to like too much, but you were
I've done that a lot in my life. No worries.
You were pretty sick for a while.
I was.
And you didn't play your music or you weren't active doing that while you were sick, were you?
No. I lost part of a lung and I lost part of a jaw, and I was having IVs in me 24/7 for a good number of months, 3 times over. So yeah, it was a time. But I got a lot of good songs out of it.
Oh, so you wrote songs while you suffered?
No, I had to do the My Country Has the Blues album because they had told me that there's no way I'd make it for more than a couple weeks, and so all these songs came out of me: Angels with Broken Wings, Lighten Up Your Load, and all that. Mm-hmm. I was having a lot of my come to Jesus meetings, with myself.
Well, yeah.
And so I thought I better get that album out, and my voice, I don't know how I managed it, but I did. Providence.
Wow. So you have one lung.
No, I have 1.5 lungs.
1.5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And you still can belt like that.
I can belt more when it's not pollen season.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
That's for all of us.
Yeah. But, the lesson is, I had given it up because there's trouble sometimes with my vocals, and it's disheartening sometimes. Well, I don't want to worry about, can I hit that when I can? So, but Fez is largely responsible for getting me back up on stage and playing music, because I had really just decided, well, I'll just hang it up. I'll write songs for other people, and I'm getting up there in years, and maybe the road isn't the best thing for me to do, but dang it, I do like it.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah. Well,
it's a pleasure to be here and do that. It's making me know that I'm right to be back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, that's just part of who you are. For God's sakes, you started this stuff at 7 years old.
God won't let this stop. I walk away and I get a call out of someone. Well, you want to play this festival in Switzerland? Okay. You want to play this festival in Mexico? Okay, I get the message.
Yeah. Here's your sign.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So what are your plans or what are your aspirations for the future and your music and downline from now?
Well, that gets into my idea about why we're here on this planet. Okay, that's a little more than just the me. The song's got to have a message to make people think about how to be their best selves. And, we've all made bad decisions, and that's why when I write those songs, they're not meant to, live in that. They're meant to, get up off your fanny and move on, right? Mm-hmm. So the idea is to do something that matters, to make the world a little bit better for having been here, not to leave just a void behind. But, if I'm going to do it, to write what's real, never get satisfied over. I won't write a stupid song, or at least not willingly. It sounds so arrogant, but you know what I mean? I like things to have a meaning to people.
Sure.
Aspirations. Well, to be healthy and live in a way that isn't a burden to people as I get older, and to make sure that my kids, they're launched. My daughter's got 4 kids, and my son is, in his career, and to make my life interact with theirs in such a way that it's not when I go that they're on their paths solidly, and I've left behind some art that outlasts me. That's a goal,
Very good, yeah.
June Carter once said, I'm just trying to matter. And I thought that's really, at the end of the day, we want to matter. You know, we're on this planet for a reason. We're not just plunked here to sit down and eat donuts. You know, we're here to hopefully touch someone's life and help them be their best selves and bring them up some kind of way. You know, if my songs can do that, or if interactions as a friend can do that, or if I can learn lessons, because we're never done learning.
Yeah.
You know,
no, that's
so
important. That's very
to
important.
keep changing, I guess, and to keep learning and to keep becoming the best version I am, not just the best that day, but the next day is yet another day. There's another opportunity, you know.
Yeah.
I'd say that's more the aspirations I have. They're not big, grand ones. They're just...
Well, I think those are pretty good and pretty realistic, and we should all strive for that.
Yeah, I think waking up to feeling grateful all the time and never not stop to notice something of beauty, some little thing, you know, like the bird song in the morning or just the flower. Any little thing, just to remember to always take that time and, you know, be grateful for one more day. We live on a beautiful planet and a beautiful world. It's people that mess it up.
You got that right. So are you planning any future European tours or?
Yes, I am actually. I was offered something this summer, but the play was more important to me. And then I have friends in the Bay Area that are getting up there in years, and we all get together. They're all very well-known musicians, and we all get together to play. It's kind of like the We're Not Dead Yet party. We don't call it that, but that's what it is. And, you know, so I thought I could go play some festival, or I could be with my friends who may or may not be here this year, because they're 10 years older than me. They're all like 10, 15 years older than I am. Yeah. You know, and I thought, no, this is a little bit more important. Agreed. So when that ends, and it might, you know, this stage of it ends, I think it will continue, but I will be the older person in 10 years, you know. Right. But I don't know. I kind of like to mix traveling with music, not just go to play a festival, but go, hey, what country do I want to go see? Because we're older now, and we can't travel like we did when we were young. Some people can play 6 shows a week. I'm not one of them. So I can do maybe 3 a week, you know? So I wanted to think, well, what place do I want to go to? Okay, let's see what I can do there. Then I get to kind of do get the experience and see, what cool things are there to do in that place. And you know, like a multifaceted experience, not just hit and run. Because when you're touring and you're playing every night somewhere, you know, you wake up and you're in another town and you say, well, hi, Cleveland, whatever, but you're not really seeing it. No, you're not. You know, so it's got to be done differently for me. Yeah. So, that's your reward. Yeah. And I'll be 70 next year, so I hope that I get to do some fun stuff. Well, you don't look 70. Really? Really? I think... Oh, well, thank you. You're welcome. Okay. Let me ask you one question. If a young songwriter came to you and said, I love playing and I love writing and I really think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, what would you tell them? What would your advice be? Well, first of all, I look at the quality of what they're doing before I tell them anything, you know, because if they don't suck, then, you know. I would always say it's always beneficial for any musician or songwriter or anybody in the arts to have another way of making a living to fall back on, because music is a very tasking mistress, and it's a very fickle one too. The public loves you when you're winning awards and when, you know, you've got hit songs on the radio and stuff, and they're quick to forget about you. In my case, I haven't found that because I'm still spinning and everything, but you know, which is kind of, well, there you go, see. But I would look, if I felt they were good, I would tell them to just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. But I would say always have something practical that you can do too. Right. Because, you know, getting well paid for any art, it's not always so easy. No. You know, and when you get older, there's too many musicians I know that are living in trailers owned by a friend of theirs, having a tough time, and their car breaks down, they can barely get to a gig, and that's very stressful. And I'm very lucky I don't live like that. Yeah, you are. But I was practical. Yeah. You know, so I would probably say that, you know, I wouldn't talk them out of it if they were really good. I'd say, heck no, just put yourself all the way in it. But
Right.
You know, take care of your life. Make sure that you have a means to live.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good advice.
Yeah, and then I just tell them to get better and better and don't get caught up in believing your press or what people say. You know what you're capable of. You do your best. You make that thing come out the best it can be. It doesn't really matter. You know, if you have a great song that the public thinks is a great song, but it's shallow and stupid, even if it's number one, I mean, who cares? You know, it's got to be a good piece of art.
Oh, yeah. Now, you, I think, are going to be recording a new album, aren't you?
Well, now there you go. That's been talked about to me by just about everybody. So I guess the answer to that is yes, God, I'm doing it.
I think you should.
Yeah. Well, it seems to be going that way because the cat from the thing is, aren't you recording? It's like, okay, I guess I am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to have your ditty song that you did written, number 12 in the show tonight. I call it your ditty song.
Yeah, because I don't remember it anymore, but it's recorded now.
That's right. And you'll have it, and you're like, okay, let me finish that one. Yeah. And then you'll have to come back and do it for us.
And I will dedicate it to you.
Oh, good.
Because you inspired it, actually. I was looking right at you and talking about, you know, the like lighten up your load and uplifting songs, you know, with the spiritual bent. And that's why it just come up in my head. So
yeah, your guardian angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them working overtime.
Absolutely. I know mine do.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's been great having you, and I look forward to hearing more and hearing about all of your escapades this upcoming year and getting you back in here.
Thank you. I look forward to coming back, too. We look forward to coming back here.
Yes.
Yeah, especially.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely stay in touch. And the best way, actually, is texting and Facebook.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, honestly.
Okay.
Sure.
All righty.
And you let me know if you feel like coming down to Baja or Tahoe, because I have a spare bedroom in Baja and I have a spare bedroom in Tahoe.
Okay.
We'd love to have you.
Sounds like a plan to me in the making.
There you go. Yeah.
Margaret, you ready to watch 4 dogs for a few days while we go have fun?
And 2 goats and a bird?
Well, you could take the dogs, you know. You could bring the dogs.
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
That would be no vacation.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you for tuning in. You have been listening to Natasha James. You are in the music room.
Thank you so much.